All right, so in number 8, we are given 2 points, -3, 5, and 9, -1. And starting, we're asked to find the distance, midpoint, and slope. So here's where we need to know our formulas. And so for the distance here, we're looking at the square root of, and if we take the difference of the x values there, so 9 minus a -3, and square that, and add that to the difference of the y's, -1 minus 5 squared. That is going to give us the square root of 180, and that is the square root of 36 times 5, which when we simplify will be 6 radical 5. Next thing, we're looking for the midpoint. So the midpoint is, if we look at the average of the x values, so we're going to look at 9 plus a -3 and divide that by 2, so that's going to give us a 3. And then we're going to have 5, or -1 minus a 5, and that is going to give us 4 divided by 2, which is a 2. And so we've got our distance and we've got our midpoint. The next thing, we're looking for our slope. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x, the rise over the run. So we're looking at 5 minus a -1 over -3 minus 9. So we're looking at 6 -12, so our slope there is a -1/2. So we've got the first part done here where we're asked to find the distance. So we got the distance there. We're asked to find the midpoint, and then we were asked to find the slope. And if we drop down here, our next step asks us to write the equation of a line through the midpoint. So we're using the answer to question 2, the midpoint right here, and perpendicular to the given line. So this tells us we have to look at this slope, and the slope is -2, and the slope that is the opposite reciprocal to that would be +2. And so that tells me what point and what slope I'm going to use for point slope form. So I'm going to have y minus 2 equals my slope times x minus 3. And then I've just got to do the distributive property, and then add the 2. And so I'm going to get y equals 2x minus 4. And that's my answer to the equation of the line passing through the midpoint and perpendicular to the given line.